Hey, Merry Christmas to you, sir. I was just going to say, I know your bus is here, but I'm a guitar player too, and I'd be happy to give you a ride to wherever you're going if you don't want to deal with the bus and your instrument and all that.
Okay, the Ryman.
The Ryman?
Yeah.
I'd love to take you down there, sir.
Well, thank you. I don't have any extra cash to tip you.
No, I don't need any money at all. I see. I know how it feels to I know how it is to haul a guitar around through these buses and everything.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You gonna be playing down at the Ryman today?
Well, I do what they call busking.
Yes, sir.
I play outdoors. So normally I don't do it this time of year. It gets a little too cold.
But it's nice weather, right?
It is going to be 73, so that's
That's gonna be just right, isn't it?
yes.
Here, put that in there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me give you my card.
Yeah, I'd love to have it, sir. Thank you much. Mr. Curtis Alexander.
I'm a 78-year-old retired insurance executive. Moved here for the grandkids. Grew up in Louisiana during the old days of outhouses and no inside plumbing, electricity, but families were, that was a standard. Graduated from LSU in 1970 and worked as an insurance executive for Equitable Life on the West Coast.
Oh, wow. What? Try your door one more time
Oh,
for
yeah,
me. It's
probably
telling
did.
it's not quite shut there.
There we
Okay,
go.
perfect. Great. That's amazing. So when did you say, how long have you been here, you said?
11 years.
Okay, yeah.
So at age 41 is when I started taking guitar lessons.
Okay. Oh, I see you missing it. I got you here.
That's an old man.
Yeah, oh, I got you. There you go. I got you. Age 41, started taking guitar lessons.
So as a kid, I had no interest in music. I wanted to be a baseball player. And I was pretty good until after Little League. I was not good, just a glove, no bat.
Okay.
So I graduated from LSU and was recruited by Equitable Life as an officer or executive did that for 40 years, mostly the West Coast. Because back then when they promoted you, they like to send you to a new operation because sometimes it's difficult if you get promoted in the office where you were once at a lower level.
Okay.
So San Francisco a year, Seattle 3 years, Sacramento 10 months, Los Angeles 4 years, and 2080 in Fresno when I became an Okie hillbilly.
Okay.
Why Fresno? Even today, Fresno and Bakersfield, if you go there, you hear more traditional country played by bands than you do in downtown Nashville.
Wow.
There's a reason for that. Something happened back in the 20s, 30s, the Dust Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Wiped out their crops. They had destitute, the California farmers, mostly Fresno, because Fresno's the richest agricultural place in the world. So they come to California, make $5 a day working in the fields. They show up and there are not that many jobs, and the local citizens hated them. They call them Okies, white trash, Dust Bowl refugees, but they bought their music, and that's how.
Wow.
So again, at LSU, I got interested in music. Because in my household, they only had the black music that was played. So this was during the segregation time, but we didn't have any issues. This was the way of life.
Yep.
But at LSU, I was in a student union with a friend of mine, and LSU had 3 music listening rooms. And my buddy said, "Oh, let's go to room C. There's Bob Dylan records playing." I said, "Who's Dylan?" So I walked in. I had never heard. So, "Oh, Lord, right to right down the line,
Yeah.
fixing everybody's troubles. You got a lot of nerve." So I started mocking singers as Bob Dylan and Jose Feliciano, Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
And so then I became a historian of all of American music, going back to the years that I was born, the baby boomers, the post-World War II. There were positive songs, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. We were happy they came home when the war was over. And then the 60s, the music started getting a little bit more radical, the hippies, the anti-establishment. And so I knew all the history of all those kind of music. And my friends in Fresno said, "You never talk about country western." I said. And then they referred me to Hank Williams Sr., Jimmy Rogers, and the rest is history.
There it is. Yep.
So I studied all of the pioneers. And Willie Nelson's the last of them that's still alive. People like Jimmy Rogers, you've heard of him, the Blue Yodeler. Yodeler. Then Hank Williams Sr., Lefty Frizzell, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Buck Owens, Willie Nelson. And so there've been good ones, but after the 90s, it kind of got downhill. Like you had George Strait and Randy Travis, they were good, but right now country music is totally drums and guitars, no lyrics.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what I do. So when I arrived here, I knew the history of Nashville, I didn't know it had grown like it is now, because the history that I studied, there were only places like Tootsie's Lounge and Ernest Tubb Record Shop, the two major areas.
That's right.
So I was going to busking on Broadway, and it was so loud, I was packing up to go home, and the guy at Ernest Tubb Record Shop said, hey, just go half a block and turn right, go in front of the Ryman, that's where you can play your busking.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So I get all kinds of publicity because of my bib shirts and doing all. So if you YouTube me, you'll find out what I do. Mostly churches, nursing home, cafes, and now this thing called busking.
Yeah, of course. And so do you live over here in Donaldson?
I live in Lebanon.
Okay.
But I drive to Donaldson because the Taco Bell people look out for my car.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I don't want to drive to Nashville. It's too crowded.
I understand. Crazy. Yes, sir.
So I've done this for about 11 years. So everywhere I go, everybody knows me.
That's amazing, Mr. Curtis. That's great. Do you have other family here in Nashville?
Well, yeah, that's how we moved here. Our son and his wife had their first child 11 years ago.
Amazing.
So I have 2 grandkids.
Amazing.
But my program is different than most busking. I kind of interact with people.
Okay.
Because women as a whole, normally on their birthday, they have a little sash that says birthday.
Yeah.
Men never wear that. So I say, no tip required. I'll sing you the male version of Marilyn Monroe. So I'll take their hand and go, happy birthday to you. And take a knee and pretend I'm kissing their hand.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful Spanish girls. In California, I learned a lot of Spanish. I say, hola, señorita. Usted es muy bonita. You're very pretty.
Yes.
Yo quiero muy bonita canta. I have a song for you. I do the same thing and say, óyeme, no seas así. Si tú sabes que yo te amo. I said, oh, my dear, don't be that way. You know, I love you. So I get people coming back and say, do this for my friend. Here's my wife. Sing happy birthday. So I just kind of interact with the people. My mission is to tear down all of the division we have in America, the political, racial, who's male, who's female, and just love people like the Bible says.
Yes, sir.
Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. So it's part comedy and music. And a lot of times I let them play the guitar. In fact, there was a guy named Diva Dash. I'd never heard of him.
Okay.
But he makes probably $1 million now. He was making 3 years ago $900,000 as a YouTube musician.
Okay.
So he plays and he has someone videotapes him. And I guess if you're on YouTube and people pull you up, every time a commercial flashes up, then they assume so much sales is going to be made, so you get a percentage. You get money based on how many views you get.
That is correct, yeah.
So I didn't know all of that. I'm antique.
Yeah. Antique.
Yeah, so that's basically what I do, all of the old traditional stuff.
Do you go down here certain days of the week? Or?
Well, I don't normally do it this time of year because it gets a little too cold, but it's going to be up to 73.
Okay.
And I don't do cold weather very well. Louisiana never got real cold.
That's right.
Of course, California was always sunny.
Yes, sir.
So I do it normally when it starts warming up, April, May, and through October. And after that, I kind of shut down.
Okay.
Because I do it just because of the interaction, and of course, a lot of my colleagues who are managers, when they're retired, just sit around and rot it away. So you got to keep the mind and body active.
Yes, sir.
So that's part of it. I just love entertaining people.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, truly, you feel called to do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
And no one, because I was pretty good in school, but as a kid, I had a hang-up. The boys teased me about my eyes.
Really?
They call me sleepy eyes, Japanese eyes.
Oh, man.
But we had our 50-year reunion years ago, but none of them remember that. The girls weren't that way.
Yeah.
And my aunts, my dad had 6 sisters. When they come and visit us, we lived in a little Cajun town called La Place, means the place in French.
Okay.
And my mom's side of the family were Cajuns. So they spoke the broken French or broken English. Who that boy is over there, huh?
Yeah, who that?
So they would compliment my other 4 siblings and then come to me and say, he's got his dad beady eyes.
Oh.
So at the place where you least expected it, because they didn't have any rebellion at LSU, because I was one of the first 5 blacks to go there.
Wow.
So the math teacher would lecture to us.
You were one of the first 5 blacks to go to LSU?
Right.
Wow.
That was the time George Wallace and other people were rebelling, but my homeroom teacher went there one summer, and he thought I should go there. The advice he gave me, if I went to the all-black college, classroom instruction is going to be similar, but everybody's going to look like you, talk like you, think like you.
Wow.
Go to LSU, it's going to be safe there. and interact. So I became involved with all the different cultures. I've never would have seen that at the black university, China, Japan, Iran, Iraq. So I just came out of the shell, and so he would lecture to us. The math teacher, the last 10 minutes of the class, he would tell us, unless you're majoring in medicine, pharmacy, engineering, bookkeeping, you're going to use a lot of classroom stuff. So learn how to interact with people. He did that for the whole first semester math. And he noticed that whenever he looked at me, I would look down. So I told him my hang up, and he kind of coached me and got me out of the shell. And right now I talk too much. so right now I'm very comfortable around people, anybody, no matter what their country or race, and I learned that all at LSU. So I learned
Amazing.
the lesson I personally learned, because we didn't have any real protests or violence or anger in our little Cajun town of Laplace, Louisiana. But I always thought all whites were happy, rich, didn't have any problems. And I discussed, well, we all have the same issues.
Yeah.
We're all afraid of flunking out, and we're all struggling financially. So little things that wasn't spoken to me, but I kind of assumed that. But so that's why I try to encourage blacks, because too many blacks still separate themselves too much, and they have preconceived opinions that's not correct about whites, and they don't interact. So if you carry yourself in that way, people kind of, no matter what your race is, people aren't comfortable around you. But if you left your guards down and showed some love and appreciation, they could be from any country, any race, they'll embrace you.
Wow.
So I can talk about all those incidents. So you have to learn how to, for example, when I was recruited by Equitable, things were segregated still in the South, so you couldn't have a black officer. So they sent me to San Francisco, the most liberal city.
Yeah.
And when I noticed, as I got promoted, a lot of the whites, they felt that then they finally started letting down their guard. They felt kind of uneasy because they would always say something that they think would be, I would appreciate. Oh, I like James Brown. I said, oh, I like Jimmy Croce. And then I just verbalized in not a threatening way, like, you don't have to be afraid if you disagree with me, because in this department, I want your ideas. Don't hold back and think I'm going to rebel because you're white. So just be yourself. And
Wow.
So that's kind of how I operate in life. So
That's amazing. That's a good word, Mr. Curtis.
So that's what I try to preach to blacks. So many of the young blacks, they just aren't getting it, man. Their pants are hanging low, and again, they have it. I guess I'm painting with a broad brush, but that's been my experience with blacks. So where are you from? Enough about me. We're almost here.
Yeah, no, I'm from here. I'm born and raised from Nashville. I grew up here my whole life.
What city?
Well, I grew up. I spent a lot of my life out in Bellevue on the west side.
Okay.
And then, or even just West Nashville. And then my mom got a house in over where I picked you up there in Donaldson
Right.
when I was like, 15. And kind of been out there my whole life. I got two little ones now too. My two little babies. I'm gonna go see here in a little while. And
Wow, that's great.
and Charlotte's almost 6 and Oliver's almost 4. And yeah, you know, like I said, I'm a guitar player like yourself, and I know how it is to try to travel with your instrument there.
So check my YouTube.
I will.
So I got a lot of TV interviews, concerts, and interviews downtown. You have to go to Curtis Alexander Music Demo, DEMO.
Yes, sir.
And that's tons of YouTubes.
Yes, sir. I will find it once I get this car parked.
Yeah, I live in Lebanon, but I spend most of my time in Mount Juliet. I go to Mount Juliet First Baptist Church.
Okay.
And I do a nursing home there and other things. Most of my activities, Nashville and Mount Juliet.
So in the warm months, what days of the week do you typically come down here?
Normally Wednesday through Saturdays.
Wednesday through Saturday.
Tuesdays are really slow. So
Okay.
things start picking up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Because my kids, they love to get on the train.
Oh,
And so we come down here on the train sometimes. So I have to try to find a day where I could bring them down here and see your act here.
well, text me. You got my number.
You got it on the card, yes, sir.
I don't do every Tuesday, but
I'll catch up with you. This is where you're gonna go right here?
Right
Okay.
here.
Yes, sir.
So initially the first year I used the train and only did one day a week because they had a train that came back late on Fridays.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And they discontinued that, so I was complaining. I said, oh man, I'm going to drive downtown. And they said, there's a Metro bus. Someone at my church told me about it. So the last 10 years, I take the bus.
Amazing.
But the first year was the train. I didn't realize they had a city bus They don't run out to Lebanon or Mount Juliet. So.
Right. Okay, you got your stuff.
What's your name?
I'm Derek Wells, sir.
Thank you, Derek.
Great to meet you. Here, let's get your stuff out.
Thank you. So text me your address. I don't know. You probably don't have a CD player anymore, do you?
I have ways to play a CD, yes, sir.
Okay, text me your address.
I have the technology.
Text me your address, and I'll just send you my 3 CDs. I did a salute to Hank Williams and the gospel one, and then 12 of my favorite country songs.
Awesome. Well,
So-
hey,